Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Good to see you, Bev. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm good. Thanks for coming in during a holiday time for you. This is a big time of year, so thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure. Just come in from a great hike, so happy to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I got to go for a run this morning. I almost talked myself out of it because it was cool. And then it ended up being a beautiful, sunny, gorgeous day with all the birds chirping. Is it nice where you are?
Magnificent, also, just before the heat settles down for a few months.
Oh yeah, I understand, I understand that in Texas. Well, so, we've been talking on Instagram and we decided to come over here and change platforms a little bit. And we wanted to talk about whether or not we've missed our chance at happiness. And, we're talking about going for hikes and being outdoors and enjoying nature and all of that. And I think it's kind of a great segue into talking about missing out on happiness. So I'd love to hear your take, because that's one of the things we're talking about before we started, is that what I'm noticing right now in my groups is that a lot of people who have been stuck in COVID and have been by themselves, everybody's looking to date. They want to go date. They want to go find someone. That's like their thing right now. And there's this big feeling of missing out on something. So what is your take on, the missing out on happiness? And what would you say to someone who's concerned about missing out on happiness?
Right. The term missing out really says to me that I'm coming from a place of scarcity. There's something I'm not quite privy to that everybody else is. When we change that around to just noticing that I feel I'm missing out on something that I'm not achieving or attaining right now, that already can bring up my awareness to, well, what do I need to do? What does it say about me? Not about the whole dating scene or the guys out there or the women out there that you want to date. What do I need to understand about me? Because I often hear this, I'm missing out in dating, but then you might find a partner and then I'm missing out in another stage of my life and another stage and another stage. It's always there. So, what is the sense of scarcity? And are you showing up in relationships from a place of scarcity? There isn't enough. And that's often what we find in an argument. There's this contraction. I need this, you need that. There isn't enough for both of us. And it's just like, if we can change that scarcity mindset to a mindset of abundance, there's enough for everyone. It makes a big difference.
I think that that's so true, because the abundance part, it's not because like you have happiness that I can't have happiness.
Absolutely.
And I think, I also, it brings to mind that I think a lot of us are putting off happiness to a certain point, a future that is possibly going to happen some other time, instead of having that happiness now. Like, what if you don't find a significant other? What if those things don't happen? So are you never going to be happy because you haven't found that significant other? So what are we putting off that happiness? What is happiness to you? I think might even be a bigger question, because
right. So
go ahead.
Sorry, no, what I'm hearing from you is that those people are saying happiness will come from outside. In other words, when there isn't COVID, when I've earned enough money, when I'm thin enough, etc., happiness will come from an outside place rather than from within me. It's not about the outside circumstances, and many of those circumstances we can't control. But I often say, if finding a partner will make you happy, if that's your goal, make that goal a place to come from. Show up already in the universe as a happy person. See what's making you happy now. Look around and be grateful for what is, and then you will already show up as a happy person and attract the people that you're looking to attract in your life.
If we constantly put off happiness to a future point, I think we miss out on all the beauty of the happiness that's now. And so I agree with you. I mean, you don't want to come from a place of lack and neediness, because then we're going to attract needy people that are needy, and maybe not in the same ways as us, but we'll attract needy people. And so to have this place of abundance and to be abundantly joyful in our daily actions, in our day to day, and creating it for ourselves. Because I think that what we also get stuck in is, I have to be with someone else in order to have happiness. Or, again, everything in life has to be exactly the way I want it to be in order for me to have happiness. But what about, like you went outside and enjoyed the beauty of nature. I was just outside enjoying the beauty of nature, listening to the birds chirping and, watching, there's like a little area where there's some water and watching like a little tiny waterfall and the turtles that are just kind of swimming around, and those kinds of things, to have that happiness and joy that's coming from your decision to act in a certain way, to be a certain way.
Right. And I love what you're saying about it being now. That's what being present is now. If I say I will be happy when, and finish that sentence, means I'm not happy here and now.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's what causes tremendous dissonance. Like, I'm not happy here, but I will be happy there. So in essence, I'm so not in the here and now with what's actually going on around me now. And that's what you're saying about going out even into nature and just noticing, oh, the birds are chirping. There's a little waterfall. How stunning is that? And not worrying about but I really want to be somewhere else.
And that's the happiness. I was talking to a client, and she had a breakthrough during one of our sessions, and she was saying, at first she's like, I don't really know why I'm not working as hard as I should be. I'm not really sure why I'm not doing the program the way really I should. And as we started talking about it, we got into it, and she said, I'm afraid that all of this will be for nothing. And then I will have wasted my time, and that there's no reason for it. So instead of fully committing and allowing herself to fully be into the program, she has not allowed herself to fully commit for that possibility that it might not be what she wants. And I think that goes alongside with what we're talking about right now, because what about in the opposite of that? What if the only thing you want is that relationship, and you finally get it and you're like, oh, now what? Now what else is there? There can't just be that one thing. You have that career that you love, that great relationship, all those things that you want in the future to have, and you work so hard for those things. Now what? And so that's why I think what we're talking about is so important, because you've got to create that joy, that happiness. You're not missing out on it. It starts with creating it from yourself, and actually really making that your daily goal is to find your own happiness, not outside of yourself, but within yourself.
Right. And you were saying that some people see it as separate items. Like, I find happiness in relationship, an intimate relationship, but I'm really very happy in other areas.
Yeah.
But we'll find that very often one's not. And rather, you find happiness in this relationship, it permeates all other aspects of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are always only talking about relationship, whether it's parent and child, intimate colleague, friend, family members. It's all relationship based.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So what would you want to leave as like your final comment? Because I think this is, and give us some likes and loves. Tell us your thoughts about, a big takeaway that you got from watching this. But, Bev, if you were going to leave with one thing to kind of leave with, what would you like to share with the audience?
I would really like to say to try and take even 5 minutes every day, just to start with 5 minutes, come back to yourself, come back to your breath, and then think about what it is you love about yourself. Just one thing every day. Start with that, noticing what's good and kind and sweet and lovable about you. Because then you will also start noticing that on the outside with other people.
I love that. I love it. And, and so for those of you who are feeling like happiness, I've missed out on it, it's meant for someone else, I'm too old to find it, it's not a possibility for me, I'm too broken, all of these things that we tell ourselves, remind yourself right now. This is your reminder. So look at yourself in the mirror after you watch this video and just say to yourself, happy that I get to create my happiness. Today, right now, is a perfect time to start creating it for yourself. Find those things that you love to do, start doing them, and stop waiting for somebody else to come and save you and change you and make your world different than what it is. Right now, you've got the power. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We'll be here live again with Bev in 2 weeks. And if there's anything that you'd like us to talk about, feel free to send us a message. We would love to hear back from all of you. So thank you to everybody for tuning in, and have a great week, and happy holy days to everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.